And if you think about it, it's basically like I mean, if you think about the properties of the Silmarils, he's essentially walking around with a headlamp on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like that dick behind you with the high beams on. Yeah,
Right.
right at eye level, like
Yeah.
right at your mirror. Like
Yeah.
that's
Like,
yeah,
thanks, buddy.
that's yeah.
So we always do this at the end, and I feel like maybe that's why it's been overlooked. So I
Mm.
want to switch it up a little bit. I want to do this at the beginning. Um, what I'm gonna do is anybody who follows us on Instagram right now, since we're not getting any like traction with people making comments on Instagram or YouTube,
Yeah.
anybody who follows us on Instagram right now, this week is going to be put into a drawing. I'm going to draw a name out this week, and those people are going to win that pre-workout, the sleep aid, and the apple cider vinegar gummies. So
Can I
anybody
play?
anybody who is listening to this that isn't following us on Instagram,
Or
it's
isn't on the show?
or yeah, it's at the underscore Swolhirrim. Follow us on Instagram, make comments if you want. But we're recording this on Sunday. It's not going to be on the pod, like on any on YouTube until Wednesday. So I will do it on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. I just
So
realized that gives me some time to actually
yeah.
publish this.
So it's
Um,
still 3 days.
it's still 3 days, just moving that timeline a little bit. But
Yeah.
speaking of listeners and people who are listening who probably aren't actually following us yet, do you want to hear the new list of where our listeners are from?
Sure.
I've got it pulled up because I thought it would be kind of cool. So we've got, I mean, the majority of the percentage in the US. But we've got our majority of our listeners are in the US. A majority of those listeners in the US are in California. But then we've
Hopefully
got
get
some,
we'll get some more in Utah.
yeah, we've got some spread out. We've got a few in Utah. We've got a few in Virginia. We've got some in Chicago, Michigan, Ohio. There was two in Georgia, something like that. But anyway, outside of the U.S., we've got a few listeners in Canada. We've got Costa
Nice.
Rica, Croatia. We've got a few listeners in Denmark, the UK, Germany, and Pakistan.
Nice.
I know, right?
We're spreading east.
So all those international listeners, sup?
How's it going?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad somebody
Someone's
likes this.
yeah. I mean, we'd do this even if no one was listening. I have a feeling.
Right.
I
I mean,
mean,
that's
it's
yeah,
essentially what we're doing.
right. Exactly. But yeah, man, that's kind of what our listeners are looking like. So that's pretty cool.
Well, don't we always start off with
Oh,
how's your
fitness.
fitness?
Fitness, dude. My fitness is
I-
awful. My fitness is so bad. Um, so after the Thunder Bros thing, I was up to 178.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm under 170 now. I I,
Must
I
be
lost
must be nice.
I lost almost all of it because I over the past 2 weeks I've been eating like 2 meals a day and
Yeah,
just life got crazy.
yeah, that's not gonna do it. No,
No.
and I always joke about this, and I always say, "Oh, it must be nice, to be." I'm like, "Oh, I dropped like 8 pounds," but
Right.
everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their fitness goals, right? So,
Um
uh,
but I mean, we've got a month here and it's not a bad thing. Like it's great that we're able to be here with Ariel's sister and their family and everything. It's just it's tough,
yeah,
when it's not your house. Like it's hard, like
it's awkward. No, I
yeah, and
get it.
it's like it's almost like you have to have like meal times, like we make
Yeah,
breakfast at this time, you make it at this time, we make dinner at this time, you make because if
yeah,
not, things just get lost and it just doesn't happen.
yeah. I saw
Um,
Ariel's got some new bumper plates though.
yeah,
Those are
we
rad.
We did. So that's the only fitness I've done. Is yesterday we did a clean and squat workout, and I got wrecked. So I am currently sitting on the hardwood floor trying to stretch out my hamstrings as much as possible.
Oh, what did I do recently? I just did Annie today.
Ooh, again? I thought you did that recently.
November was the last time I did it.
You did like a modified Annie.
I did like Annie on the run.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was just as bad. And I did something earlier in the week. Actually, let me pull it up. I'm looking it up. I was just like, ugh. But it was good. It was a good workout. I ended up getting a good score on it.
Nice.
Oh yeah. 5 rounds, 50 double unders, 20 alternating dumbbell snatches at 50 pounds. So I finally used that 50-pound dumbbell. Yeah.
Nice.
First time since the open. And 10 box jump overs.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Did you bust your shins up?
Nope.
Nice.
Yeah.
Getting better at that.
Well, it's a slow box jump. It's not a quick box jump.
Not the open.
But yeah, I got a griffin on Beyond the Whiteboard on that one.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then and then before that I did 10 rounds for time, deadlifts and push-ups.
All right. Deadlifts and push-ups. What was the weight on the deadlifts?
135.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a good weight for 10.
For so 10 rounds, 15 deadlifts, 15 push-ups.
Oh, 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 150 deadlifts, 150 push-ups.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't touched a barbell since the open, and we were doing some heavy squat cleans, and 200 pounds felt like 1,000.
Oh yeah.
But it was nice. Like it was good to move. And we bought a 4x6 horse stall mat.
Nice.
So that's out on their little block of concrete in their backyard right now. So it's been good.
Get some workout in with that.
Yeah, it's good.
We are buying a rower tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Concept 2 or different?
Concept 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craigslist find.
Oh sweet.
Yeah.
What's the tag on it?
And it's getting delivered.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
$850 cash. Yeah.
To be delivered also? That's
delivered
golden.
also. I know. I'm kind of skeptical.
Just
I'm gonna have my ring record the entire transaction.
You're just gonna have to make sure that you're probably gonna have to like oil up the chain and like the seat rails and stuff. But other than that, like,
yeah,
that's
I forget what the post said. It doesn't have that many miles on it, but I'll have to take a look at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Melissa's stoked.
Yeah.
Because that opens up a whole lot of workouts for her.
Hey, rowing.
Because we also got a wall ball for her.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so a 14-pound wall ball. I don't know yet. I have to set up a
9 feet anywhere.
Well, we barely have 9 feet in the garage.
Okay.
It'll hit that top like center beam.
Oh, gotcha.
So I have to figure out. I'm probably gonna build something that I could put on top of the roof of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And she can go out the side door.
Yeah, I was gonna say like in the backyard area.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. Minimal usage: 59 hours, 50k meters.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's great, man. That'll be good. That'll be.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would rather jump on a rower than run. So.
Yeah. Same.
That's how I am.
Same.
But yeah, like I don't know if I'm gonna try and start getting into a gym while we're here, or if I'll wait until we're actually moved into our place. I might just work out back while we're here. and like split things up. So like if Ariel works out during the day, when I get home from work, I'll work out at night and do the same like workout or whatever. Use her bar.
Yeah. I
And
was doing
just
my
do that.
workouts in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then I just decided lately, I was like, it seems better to do it after work.
Yeah, I'm not a morning workout kind of guy.
I
I
used to
never have
be.
been. I never have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never liked working out in the morning. Um, my favorite time to work out is like between 11 and 1.
You can only do that when you work at a gym.
I know, right? It's such a good time to work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I don't know. We're still trying to settle in. We've only been here, what, 4 days? So
Hmm.
we'll kind of see what it's like.
Yeah.
But
Because you
yeah,
guys drove down for Monday, right?
well, we left Monday, but we didn't. We stayed the night. We didn't get here until Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
So really, just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever that is,
Yeah. I don't know. That's too much counting.
5 days ish. But yeah, so not even a full week yet, but we're settling in to a place where we'll only be for about a month and a half, and then we'll bounce.
And then you'll have your own place.
And then we'll have our own place where I'm not sitting on the floor with a sheet behind me. I'm actually really excited because I do have I've got thoughts of how I want to set up like my new studio and everything, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Well,
Like,
you know who else had to move a lot?
who was that?
Feanor.
Yeah, that little asshole. Why why have you become so good at bad transitions? That's what I want to
I
know.
don't know. I don't know. I just am.
Oh. Yeah, so last time we talked history, it was Ariel and I. Did you go over my outline with a fine-tooth comb, or did you just look
uh,
at it and be like, "Yeah."
I looked at it and I was like, okay, Chris is definitely going for something here.
Sometimes I just really like the way that I write outlines, or
Yeah,
not
and that
outline. I would call it a synopsis.
your summaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I did was move some things around that
Cool, cool,
didn't
cool.
that kind of it flowed better this way because it's the way it was actually happened. Because
Shut up.
this all happened.
Because it all happened.
Because it all happened.
We know it did. Cool. All right. So
It's on the internet, so it
yeah,
must be true.
well, it's true. Yeah, we left off just after Melkor got released, right?
Yeah.
And in the last one, I think the last things that I really talked about was the line of Finwë.
Mhm.
Because I was, making the comment to Ariel of saying like that line's going to be important going forward, right? Because we've got Feanor, we've got Fingolfin, and we've got Finarfin, and like that line, those people are going to be probably the most important people moving forward into the first age. Um, there has a lot to do with them, or at least the first part of the first age, which we still aren't in the first age yet.
No.
We are still in the age of the trees, or the
The
years of the
year
trees.
the years of the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So summarizing a little bit of what happened on the last one,
get
right?
it,
Melkor pretends to repent,
asshole.
right?
Yeah.
And so he gets pardoned. He's allowed to like be free in Valinor now,
Right.
right?
Right, and he's but still only in Valinor, right? Like he's
Yeah,
still not allowed to go back to Middle Earth, right? The whole
yeah.
point is that he's supposed to stick around in Valinor, right?
Which for him is fine because he could start some shit there,
Right. I mean, that's
right?
kind of the whole point.
Yeah,
And so that's kind of what he starts to do, right? He starts like he's chilling with the Noldor because again, I don't remember if we talked about this a whole lot, but like the idea where like the Vanyar wanted nothing to do with him, and he saw the Teleri as weak. So he chilled most with the Noldor,
yeah,
because he realized that that's where where he could stick his claws in.
yeah. They
Um,
were they were corruptible enough.
right. And I think a big part of that, like a big part of why they were corruptible is because they had this like thirst for knowledge, but didn't really care about like the outcome.
Right.
Um, and so you've got Melkor walking around. Like I just imagine like him like walking around Valinor, right, with these groups of Noldor, and he's just like telling them stories and all this stuff, and then every once in a while slipping in like, yeah, but Manway's a son of a bitch, and he wants you to be here forever, and then like just keeps going and like still says some stuff, and like he just
I would
slips these
think
little
I would
things
I
in.
would think he'd be a little more sly about it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like, you guys know what the word thrall is? Let me tell you about the word thrall, because Feanor is obsessed with that word later on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Melkor is basically already starting to like sow those seeds. He's starting shit already.
Yeah.
And he's mostly doing that because again,
He's spreading fake news is what he's doing.
he is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what he's doing. And
Yeah.
he's doing it to all sides,
Yeah.
right? Um because one of the things that he's doing too is he's reminding them about Middle Earth. And like some of these people had never been there,
Right.
right? Like Feanor doesn't know what Middle Earth is. He's never been there before. He was born in Valinor.
Hmm.
Same with Fingolfin and all, like these people, these elves were all born in this paradise. And Melkor,
Feanor's kids.
yeah. And Melkor is like, telling him about Middle Earth and how great it was, and that like, yeah, the Valar only brought you over here because they were afraid that you guys would get too big and they wouldn't be able to rule you. Right. And again, it was probably more sly than that, but that's essentially kind of what he was getting at in all of
Yeah.
this. Um, and at that same time, he was like, "Oh, and there's another, like, there's a second children of Iluvatar, um,
That's that's why you're here.
and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're here because these second children are the ones that the Valar actually want to inherit Middle Earth.
Yeah.
They're the ones that the Valar think that they can control because they're weaker and they live less time and all of this. So you're here as like, again, as thralls, as prisoners, um, and so that men can inherit and serve the Valar over in Middle Earth,
Right.
essentially. Um, and we know from before that like Feanor didn't really like, he didn't jive with Melkor, right? He didn't trust the guy, but he didn't trust any of the Valar. He hated all of
Right.
them basically. he he for some dumbass reason thought he was better than all the Valar. Um and so like he didn't even trust him. So he never really talked to him directly, but Feanor heard all of this shit over time, right? So
Right.
Feanor was
The
hearing,
rumors reached his ears.
right. It never
Right.
came from Melkor himself, but like when you're surrounded by, these Noldor who are all constantly talking to each other and then bringing that stuff to Feanor, who, is already unhinged, like
Yeah.
it's gonna start to, start some shit.
Yeah. He's got a chip on his shoulder,
Hmm.
and that doesn't help the situation. He's got issues of his personality that don't help the situation.
Right.
Right. Uh and so like around the same time that Melkor's doing this, you know, uh Feanor uh embarks on the greatest project of his life,
Right.
right? And he creates the three Silmarils. Um and no one knows how he did it,
Right.
right? And that's you have to give some kind of credit to Feanor um in terms of his skill and what he was able to accomplish,
Oh yeah.
right? Um, you know, does that excuse the fact that he was a huge dick? No. Um, but he made these three super impressive jewels that everyone kind of coveted, right?
Yeah.
Everybody fawned over the Silmarils, and he was exceptionally proud of the fact that through his own genius, right, he was able to craft these things that even the Valar couldn't figure out
Right.
how they were made.
Right. And one of my favorite parts of like the actual book right here is that Tolkien spoils his own story. Because he talks about how the Valar don't know, and nobody will know how these gems were made um, until um, what does he say? But basically, until Feanor comes back at the end of the world, because he dies, and he lays out this whole thing of like before the sun even comes up, Feanor dies, and it's like, wait, there's gonna be a sun? Wait, Feanor dies? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, but we're gonna push past that really quick. It's just a nice little spoiler for you, and then we're gonna move on.
So he's super proud of these jewels. Wears them around all the time on his. I'm assuming he made himself like a tiara, right?
I
Where
like that you
he
didn't call it a crown.
right. No, it wasn't a crown.
No, he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick and he's an elf, and
Yeah,
elves. I've never seen an illustration of an elf with the crown.
right.
To be
He's
fair,
got a tiara. I
right?
love it.
It's kind of like it's not even a tiara. It's like one of those headband things
Just like
because
just like little jewel droplets like on his headband.
yeah, like almost like does Thranduil have a crown?
He's got the like crown of berries and branches and stuff right here, but like
Yeah,
it doesn't go all the way around. It just comes like out right here.
yeah,
Well, I mean that's at least how the movie shows it,
right.
you
That's
know.
how the movie shows it.
Right.
Um, yeah, no, I picture just like almost like a headband
Uh
kind of thing. One of those things that goes around just your like because it says he wore it on his brow,
right.
right?
Right.
And so I'm just picturing something super dainty
Right.
around his head,
Yeah.
and he has the jewels on there,
And just wearing it around like an asshole.
and that's why like a tiara
Right.
seems appropriate.
And if you think about it, it's basically like I mean, if you think about the properties of the Silmarils, he's essentially walking around with a headlamp on.
Yeah, yeah, he's like that dick behind you with the high beams on. Yeah,
Right.
right at eye level, like
Yeah.
right at your mirror, like
Yeah.
that's
Like
yeah,
thanks, buddy.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
Again, this is why he's a dick.
He's a dick.
Yeah,
Very first episode.
yeah,
Feanor's a dick. That's the
yeah,
first one I did. Yeah, so he's walking around, he's got these on his brow, and Melkor sees that, right? So Melkor's like, okay, I want those.
yeah,
Like they've got the light of the trees in them. They're like these gorgeous gems. I want that in my life, right? And especially because Feanor was flaunting them.
yeah,
Because I mean, think about it. Like Melkor hated the elves anyway.
yeah.
And Melkor
Well,
100% believed all of those elves were beneath him, right? And so like even Feanor, the one who could create a jewel that like no Valar could understand how, like Melkor still saw him as beneath him. So he's like,
right.
no, those jewels should be mine,
Yeah,
right? Feanor, whenever he's not actually wearing them, he like locks them away and has like 5 guards around them at any point. And then he gets to the point where he's so paranoid that like the only people that see them were his dad Finwë and his sons,
yeah. His
and,
immediate family.
and that's it.
Yeah,
Those are the only people who are allowed to see that, you know. But because of that, like Melkor wants that shit. Melkor is basically realizing that like Feanor is just a prideful son of a bitch, right?
right.
Um, and Melkor being who he is, one of the few beings who understands pride in an evil form, knows that he can play this against him,
Oh yeah,
right? And all the while still, like, Manwë's just like, nah, Melkor's fine. Like, all you know, all while this shit's being done, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, every time Melkor was walking around with a group in Noldor and Tolkos walked by, Tolkos was just like cracking his knuckles, like, this motherfucker is
Yeah.
fucking shit up in here. Like,
Hated seeing him every day, I'm
every
sure.
every single day. Um, but so, he starts essentially what he starts doing is he starts not only just playing Feanor off of Fingolfin, but also playing that pride that Feanor has
Yep.
against the Valar, right?
Right.
Um, and he's kind of going on both of these routes. And not just that, but, like, essentially what's happening now is he's spreading rumors, right, that Fingolfin is making plans to supplant Finwë and Feanor's place,
Right.
right?
To become Finway's heir.
Exactly. Right?
Because yeah, so just as a reminder, right? Finwë is Feanor's father, Feanor's firstborn,
Right.
and then Fingolfin, and then
Finarfin.
Fingon, Finarfin,
Finarfin. Yeah.
Finarfin.
So he turns him against that, right? So he basically, the rumors are that, like, if
I like
the
that I'm able to hide behind my microphone.
basically the rumors that he's spreading is that the Valar want Fingolfin to be the ruler because he will basically allow them to rule through him and
Right.
allow them to have possession of the Silmarils.
Yeah.
And then the the other way is he was also spreading rumors that Feanor wanted to banish and or kill Fingolfin and Finarfin, because Feanor has never liked them. He hates his half brothers.
Yeah.
Like, he wishes that his dad would have never remarried, right? He's that asshole.
Yeah.
He's just a dick. He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dad's happy, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and so what happens is during this time, Melkor also decides, I'm gonna teach you guys about weapons, which then really starts to fuck shit up.
Right.
I mean, that's
Because no
really
one has weapons.
no, only the Valar, right?
Not even I don't think even the Valar have weapons. You're right. It was the no other Eldar had weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, sucks to suck.
Sucks to be wrong.
But the asshole teaches him how to make weapons, and, like, not just weapons, but also, I mean, they essentially start in secret, um, building entire armories, which is kind of funny because it's like it's all only factions of the Noldor that do this.
Yeah.
Like, the Vanyar are still over there being boring as hell, being Manwë's favorites, right? And the Teleri are on the shore just singing songs about birds and oceans
And boats.
and boats. And
Yeah, and boats.
you get the fucking Noldor just like, yeah, we'll make weapons. This will be fun.
So all this shit's happening, right? And so, um he started saying that he wanted to lead the Noldor back to Middle Earth to be free
Right.
from the Valar, right? And so Finwë, being the head of the Noldor, decided I gotta step in here and figure out what's going on, right?
Right.
And so he calls all his counselors to halls, and this is when Feanor and Fingolfin have some beef, and
Right.
it's really, if we know anything about the two people, the two individuals involved, it's really Feanor's beef, right?
Right.
Right. Fingolfin's there, and he's just like, "The fuck,
Yeah.
man!" Like, we're all here just to talk about what's going on. And he draws his sword on his brother, right?
Which is bad shit in a place that like doesn't even have weapons.
Right. And so, you know, uh he he draws a sword on his brother, and he does it because he thinks that Fingolfin's there trying to take his place,
Right.
because he's been hearing the rumors that Melkor's been spreading. Um and he draws a sword, threatens him with death, and time to move, buddy.
Yeah. Well, and like that's the thing though too, is like one of my favorite parts about that whole thing is like he draws his sword, and like in the book, the way that it describes it is like Fingolfin still like essentially ignores him, right? He like he flat out ignores him, like bows to Finwë, and then just turns to leave. And then like because Feanor is an asshole and like needs recognition, he runs outside and does it again.
Yeah. He's like, wait. Didn't you see what I did?
Yeah. Like I just stepped you, bro. Like what are you gonna do?
I
Like
had
what
a
are you gonna do?
sword.
Yeah.
I have a sword. No
And
one else has a sword.
and essentially like Fingolfin just like he walks out, he like again I'm picturing like Feanor yelling like, bro, did you not hear me? And Fingolfin's just like, oh my god, just like eye roll, like what
Yeah.
the fuck does this guy want?
Yeah.
And this is his goddamn stepbrother that he has to deal with, you know.
Yeah. Feanor's a bit of a drama queen.
But yeah, I mean like you said, like he had to go at that point,
Yeah.
right?
So because the Valar heard about this, and he ended up packing up all his things and moved to Forminos.
Forminos. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he sets up his residence there,
Yeah.
and his dad decides to go with him, which is probably the stupidest thing he could have done.
I don't understand it.
Right? I was like,
Yeah.
I get it. You want to be there for your kid, but your kid's a dick,
Yeah, and you've got two
right?
other kids that aren't dicks.
Yeah. Like maybe throw your lot in with them.
Yeah.
Um, I don't remember. I don't remember if what his feelings were for his first wife.
Like in general?
Like, was his first wife the love of his life, right? Like,
Yeah, and like he
and
was
the second one was just like, okay, you'll do,
yeah, I think that's kind of how it's like set up. I mean, it shows that he definitely
because
does like he finds some love in his second life or his
yeah,
second wife, right? But like he was
but
also
not the
very
passion.
right. And he was also very like with his first wife when she was like, yeah, Feanor took the whole life out of me. Like I can't have kids anymore. He was like, wait, hold up, what?
Yeah,
Like he was like, what do you, we lived for like
ever.
millennia. What do you mean you can't have any more kids? Like, hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because then that would explain it, right?
Yeah.
If that's, but still,
Right. I mean, it says over and over like that like Feanor holds like a place in Finway's heart, you know, but it's still just like, yeah, but you get again, you've got two sons who aren't assholes.
yeah,
Like,
and you'd get to stay in Valinor,
right. And
right?
the whole thing here, the fact that Finway leaves then fulfills what Morgoth or Melkor said, right?
Yeah,
Because at that point, now Fingolfin is the High Noldor in
yep,
Tyrion.
yep,
And like it like it just it's a self-fulfilling prophecy there.
exactly.
Um, you know, but during this whole shenanigans where the Valar basically held a trial for Feanor, they found out some other shit, right?
Yeah. They found out the Russians were feeding Feanor false information.
Yeah.
And by Russians, I mean Melkor.
Yeah. They found out
Um,
once an asshole, always an asshole.
and guess who was right? And guess who had egg on their face? And I'm sure like didn't acknowledge that he was wrong.
Oh, absolutely not.
There's no way Manway would have been like, "Oh yeah, my bad."
No. 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 No, it was we're just gonna not talk about who it was that let him free. Hey, Tolkas and Orme, go hunt him down. Go find it.
You guys don't like him, right?
Yeah, you don't like him anyway. Go get him.
Yeah, go get him.
Oh man.
And
And
they're
so that
just
like
like,
that's
this
what happens.
motherfucker.
Right? Like
Yeah,
Tolkas and Orme, they bounce, they go to find him. And you know that like even though Tolkas was just like, I fucking knew it. He was also like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go like
yeah,
it's time to mess this guy up again. Like this
yeah.
again. We have to remember this is the only reason why Tolkas came to to Arda. His
Was to fight Melkor.
his sole purpose was to come and fight Melkor.
Yeah,
So like you know he was all about this shit.
yeah. He's itching for it,
Yeah.
and so he goes there and
He
he
goes to
tries to
Formenos.
yeah, and he tries to befriend him
Yeah.
and tries to be like, "See, I told you so."
Right. Right.
And he that so and you would think he would be smart enough not to push his luck,
Right.
but he brought up the Silmarils,
Right.
and that pissed off Feanor.
Right. Because it even says like Feanor was this close.
Yeah,
He was like, should I trust this guy? Like I
yeah,
probably
because I
need some
think
help.
I think ultimately he was trying to corrupt them to his side,
Right. Right.
right? Because he saw what they were, right? He saw that they were corruptible,
Right. And
um, and,
strong.
and strong, right? And
Right.
so, yeah, I would want them on my team. I would
Right.
pick them, right?
And
And so,
even though when it was like in the book when it says like no or Feanor was thinking about trusting him, even if it was just to help them leave to Middle Earth, but like that's enough.
yeah,
That's enough.
that's enough to be able to corrupt them more. And
Right.
his ultimate goal was to get the Silmarils, right?
Right.
And you know,
And so
so
he pushed that shit.
so he pushed that shit. Feanor got pissed off,
Uh,
and then he knew that he was full of shit.
right. And another line that I really love in the book is it says that at that point, Feanor, this is the one badass thing that Feanor did. Well, maybe he did a few, but like Feanor, son of Finwë, shut the door on the most powerful being in Arda.
Yeah,
Like he was just like, nah, fuck this guy.
yeah.
Like,
Nope.
um, yeah, and like Melkor knew that he couldn't do anything right then at that time,
Yeah,
right? Because like Tolkas and Orme were already on his tail. He had to bounce, right? So he knew that he couldn't just go in and wreck shit right then. Um, and so he leaves. He goes south to where nobody goes, to where like even Orme's hunting parties have basically forgotten that it exists.
yeah.
And he finds Ungoliant, who I don't want to go too much into her because we can do a
A, cha-
special
a
a
character
character
profile.
profile on Goliant, but essentially a giant ass spider,
Yeah,
right? So think of Shelob that you saw in the movies, and much much bigger.
it's her mother essentially,
Right,
like not her mother, but well,
right.
maybe it is her
Spawn.
mother.
I mean, they call Shelob spawn of Ungoliant.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
um,
Uh,
yeah.
and Melkor makes a friend.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and part of that might have been that maybe they were friends beforehand,
yeah,
right? And he essentially shows up and he's like, "Look, I got a plan here. I think you're gonna like it. My plan is to go in and totally disrupt the Valar's way of life. Um, I want to kill the two trees.
you
Uh,
would love them. They
yeah,
taste
you
delicious.
you would love to suck up all that light. That good light. Um, and then I want to fuck some more shit up, and then we'll bounce. And basically, she was like, I don't want to go up against the Valar, like
Yeah,
that. Like I'm not down with that. And so to sweeten the deal, he's essentially like every gem that exists in like Tyrion and Formenos and all those places is yours. He
Mhm.
says, and I put this in our show notes and quotes because it's important in the writing. He says, I will give with both hands, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of wins her over, where she says, like, she's like, all right, let's do this thing. Now, there are some interesting things that we'll go into about Ungoliant really quick. Is one of her, I don't know, powers, I guess is what you would call it, is unlight,
Yeah.
right? It's not darkness, it's unlight. So she essentially creates nothingness around
Right.
herself. Um, and can shield herself even from the eyes of like Manwë and Varda, right? Um, and not to mention, her black webs that she can weave and all of that fun jazz. But what's interesting is all of this time, so all of this Melkor running around the woods, hiding from like Tolkas and Orme, and then him going to Formenos and talking to Feanor, and then him going down to Ungoliant. Like this would have taken 12 years because that's how long Feanor's banishment was. And that's when this party is, right? Again, with the parties in the Valar. The parties are always their downfall, man.
Yeah.
Um, but so, they're having that party and everybody's invited, right? Everybody's invited, but only one person is mandated to be there, and that's Feanor. And the whole point of that is, so that they can have reconciliation,
Yeah. They're
essentially.
trying to make peace.
Right. And they're and Manwë's like, this will be the perfect time. Everybody will be there. It'll be happy. Now the thing that sucks in multiple levels is that for some reason, again, Finwë was being stubborn and said, my son is still technically banished, so I won't be going.
Right.
And it's like, why, Finwë? Why? Like, what's the
Because,
point here?
well,
But anyway. um, so Finwë gets there, right? And they're all having a party and it's a grand old time. And like this,
Feanor.
or
Feanor
yeah,
gets
Feanor, sorry, not Finwë.
yeah.
Feanor gets there, they're having a party, and in the middle of this party, Manwë, calls up Feanor and Fingolfin. And Fingolfin says, yes, I still forgive my brother, right? And Feanor basically just says like, it is good. I can't remember
Right.
the exact words, but he's a man of few words when it comes to his half brother.
Yeah.
And then his half brother says, Fingolfin says, half brother in birth, full brother in blood, I will follow you wherever you lead, right? Which come on, man.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't have known. I mean, he should have known,
Bad,
right?
bad, bad oath to make, buddy.
Yeah. I'll follow you as reasonably far as,
Yes.
you know,
I will
as
follow.
ethics
Yeah,
dictates.
exactly. I will follow you as long as you're not a crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
long as you don't do anything too crazy, I will follow you wherever.
Look, you want to go cliff jumping? I'll jump off with you. You want to
Yeah.
start an insurrection against gods? Probably not.
Yeah.
um,
There should have been some leeway in his oath.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely should have been something there. But
Yeah.
hey, they kiss and make up.
Yeah.
Right? And it's good because honestly, like from what we get from Feanor, like Feanor's still an ass, right? But I think he was just like, I probably shouldn't have drawn my sword on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he was not repentant, but was chill with his half brother again at this point. Um Now the problem is while all of this is going on, Ungoliant and Melkor jump the gate,
Right.
right? And Melkor walks right over to the trees, stabs both of them, and Ungoliant just starts sucking up that light,
Yep.
those sweet, sweet juices.
Yeah. And so then the two trees basically lit up all of Valinor.
Mhm.
And so with the two trees destroyed, uh, there's no more light. And she sucked them dry and they essentially bled black,
Yeah.
right, from their wounds, right, and that
Right.
there was nothing that they could do. And Yavanna, um, you know, Yavanna took a look at the trees, and she said she could fix them, right,
Right.
if she had the Silmarils.
Right.
And Feanor, in his one act of sanity, decides to give the Silmarils to Yavanna to restore the light of the trees, and everything ended up working great for Feanor and his family.
Which is why we still have the trees to this day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I read that wrong.
Oh no, that's not how that
Feanor
happened.
that actually read Feanor was a dick, and he did not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Feanor is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so he has the power to restore the light of the two trees. Because he used the light from the two trees to create the Silmarils.
Right. Which he
And there's
basically like tries to ignore as much as possible.
right,
Yeah.
right. And because of that light is still in there, he could make things right again.
Right.
Right. But in his mind, they're his. It's another kind of show of, no, you're just trying to get what's mine,
Right.
kind of thing, right? You brought me over here because this is what ultimately what your goal was, right?
Right. Let's talk about Melkor because these things are happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
so it's
Melkor and then we'll come back.
Yeah, it's a party going on, right?
Right.
And Melkor and Ungoliant get to the two trees.
Right.
They destroy the two trees, right? And then they bounce immediately.
Right.
And they head to Forminos.
Right.
And the only person there is old Finwë, who's losing a step.
That stubborn son of a bitch.
Yeah. And Melkor attacks, kills Finwë, and steals all of Feanor's jewels, including the Silmarils. And him and Ungoliant head north across the Helcaraxe.
Yeah.
And do you want to pick up?
Yeah. So then, as this is happening, right, you've got the Valar and Feanor, arguing about what's going to happen with the trees and with the Silmarils, right?
Right.
And one of my favorite parts is that Feanor says that if I break open the Silmarils, it will be like breaking my own heart, and I will be the first bloodshed of the Eldar in Valinor. And creepy ass little Mondos kind of peeks his head around the corner and says, "Not the first." Because we know, we didn't know at the time.
That's right. Yeah.
We don't know at the time, but Mondos already has Finwë in his halls.
Yeah.
Right? Because Finwë's already dead, but we don't know this yet.
Yeah.
And so then suddenly you've got guards from Forminos running up and telling the story of what happened. That Melkor and Ungoliant. Well, I think they actually just say it was that Melkor, but they couldn't see Ungoliant because Ungoliant has now grown so huge,
right?
And
from the light of the two trees,
from the light of the two trees,
from feeding on that, yeah,
and is spreading out her unlight so big that like people can't see her, right?
Yeah.
But Melkor shows up, and like you were talking about, kills him, takes the jewels, and this is when Finwë or Feanor like full on snaps,
yeah.
Right? And he drops to his knees and he changes Melkor's name to Morgoth.
Yeah.
Right. So he is now known forever through the Eldar. Right. He is forever now known as Morgoth. Right. And not only that, but he actually turns to the Valar and he blames the Valar for the death of his father.
Right. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So Melkor means mighty arising, or he who rises in might. Morgoth is the Black Foe or
Ooh,
Dark Tyrant.
yeah, I like both of those.
Yeah,
I mean, the man had drama, you know.
yeah,
Feanor had some drama. So he blames the Valar as well for the death of his father, right? Because
yeah.
because again,
Because
Feanor being
they made him go to that party.
right, so Feanor
Right.
being Feanor thought that if he were in Formenos, he could beat a fucking god and Ungoliant. We both know that's not true. We both know that Feanor and Finwë would be dead if Feanor wasn't at that party, because there's just no way.
Do we though?
Yeah, we
He
do.
had to. He had to have feared
No, no, no.
because well,
Look,
think about well,
I'm gonna say this. Spoiler alert. Feanor tries to step to Melkor, and it does not work out for him.
but it's not Melkor that kills him. It's many Balrog.
Right. Nah, still.
Yeah. It was actually so Fingolfin, I think, is the only one who went up
Fingolfin
against
fights him. Yeah, that's
Fingolfin
right.
fights him.
And that fight's badass.
And Fingolfin wounds him
Yeah.
so severely that he has a limp for the rest of
But that's why I've
forever.
always loved me some Fingolfin, because that
Well,
fight is sick. Um
anyways,
anyway,
that's not part of this
that's
history.
that's a spoiler
Yeah.
for moving forward. But no, I mean, come on.
Spoiler on a what is it, like a 60-year-old book at this point?
Right. But like again, let's be real. You've got Ungoliant who just devoured the two trees,
Yeah.
right? Like so her power alone is going to be able to fuck some shit up. And then you've
Yeah.
got Melkor as well, and Feanor just thinks like, "Oh, if I were there, I would have stopped it." No,
Yeah.
sorry
Yeah.
buddy, but no. But anyway, so he blames the Valar for the death of his father, right? So that this is really going to start to sow some shit later on.
Right.
So Tolkas and Orome immediately they bounce again, right? They go to find
They,
Melkor and Ungoliant.
yeah, they go to
Um,
Formenos.
right, but
Formenos.
the problem there is every time they get close, the unlight
Unlike
it completely disorients them,
yeah.
right? And they don't know where they are. They don't know like what direction they're going anymore, and they just can't handle it.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna let you wrap this up.
So Melkor and Ungoliant head across the Helcarax. I like pronouncing. I know it's like Helcaraxe,
Right.
but I think
I say
Helcarax.
Helcarax as well.
Yeah, Helcarax sounds better.
Yeah.
So they head across the Helcarax, and get to Middle Earth, and they're just outside of where Angband is, which is Melkor's old stronghold before he got beat.
Right.
And Ungoliant's like, okay, pay the piper, right? You said you were going to give me with two hands, right?
Right.
And so Melkor's like, okay, here you go. But he doesn't give her the Silmarils.
Right.
And so she's, she's feasted on the light of the trees, right? And she would really like the light of the jewels with the
Yeah.
light of the trees, right?
She knows that good shit, and she knows she's not getting it.
And she knows that Melkor is holding back, and so she and Melkor have a fight, and because she's so large that he has to scream, he ends up screaming.
Right. I
Like
actually love that part.
Is a little, yeah. He's clearly terrified. He
Right.
probably screams the same way I scream whenever I see a spider because I fucking hate spiders. And so he screams so loud, and he's so close to Angband that Gothmog and the other Balrogs, and just I want to stop real quick and say Gothmog and the Balrogs is a fucking great name for a band.
That's a metal
right?
band right there, dude.
Right there, just Gothmog
Yeah.
and the Balrogs.
Oh yeah. Also, you know that they were just chilling down in their fucking cavern, and they hear that, and they're like, "The fuck was that?"
Yeah. Who screamed like a little girl? No one's supposed to be here. So they go out and they find him, and he's like wounded, right?
Yeah. Well, his hands are burned from the Silmaril.
Yeah.
So he's got the Silmarils in his hands, and like we talked about this. Like, Varda already said like no unclean thing can hold these, right? So she basically like hollowed them in a way.
Yeah.
And so his hand is burned.
Yeah.
And then also he's like completely tied up. Like I think of the scene in Endgame with Doctor Strange with all the ribbons tying
Yeah.
up Thanos. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So the Balrogs come out, they beat her back, she leaves, she heads south towards Middle Earth,
Right.
or further south along Middle Earth. And he reestablishes himself in Angband and gets to work on a iron crown.
Yeah.
And he makes a legit crown.
Right.
Not a
Not a
it's
tiara.
diet. Yeah, not a tiara. No, you know what the word I'm looking for is diadem.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
A diadem's kind of like it's the thing that I was describing.
Is it like Elrond's thing?
Yes.
In the movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay. But like when he does that too, he basically like he essentially says to himself like I'm never leaving this place. Like
I guess a diadem is no, yeah, there's a headband version.
okay. But yeah, like
Anyway.
once he's down in Angband with his Silmarils and his iron crown with the Silmarils on it, he's essentially like, yeah, I'm never leaving here again.
Yeah.
Like this is where I live now.
Basically doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's just where he lives at that point on.
I think he comes out. He comes
only
out
comes
once.
out for Fingolfin.
Yeah. That's the only time. And then he gets wounded. And so he's like, fuck that.
Yeah. He's like, I've been in here for a really long ass time. I walk out once.
Nothing's ever
one time.
Exactly. That's like right now, right? It's like I've been in quarantine for a year, and the one time I walk out, I get a fucking cold. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
I haven't had a cold in 14 months, man.
It's been nice.
It's been great.
Staying away from people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's really where we're going to stop this point because moving into the next part, at that point, we're really starting to talk a little bit more of, the, I don't know if you want to call it an insurrection or what you want to call it.
Oh, the next part's great.
But the
next
rebellion.
Part's great. I really want to talk about it.
I know, but no.
I want to talk about it now, though.
No. Save it.
It's the best part.
It is.
It's the most exciting part because it's like,
well, here, how about we do this then? Because you feel that way, you get to write the outline for the next one.
I don't know if I have time to do that.
Yeah,
okay. No, but it is. I do like the next part. The next part.
I think it's in my opinion, it's definitely the best part of this first part of the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Right.
The if they had the rights to film this, that would be a great first season.
Oh, it'd be so good.
The first season would be, Feanor making the Silmarils, right?
Yeah.
Kind of introducing everybody, character development. Melkor at this point is free, right? You kind of do a little prelude.
Yeah, you can have flashbacks, talk about what happened there and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then you kind of finish it with what we're going to eventually talk about next time.
Right. Oh, that'd be so good.
Right? And that's the end of season 1. Season 1, season 2, I guess you could do.
I think the best thing would be the end of season 1, right? Or season 2 is a certain thing that you float on water on fire. And that's how that season ends.
Oh yeah.
Just them walking away with that shit on fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be so good.
That would be good. Yeah. And then the rest of the thing is just all in Middle Earth.
Right.
And it's just flat, and it's each season is a different period in that first age. Because it's fucking forever.
Right? Oh yeah.
Let's write this. Showrunners.
We're gonna write this down. Amazon, you're listening, right?
Yeah.
I'm
They
pretty
don't
sure.
have the right. They don't have the rights to it yet.
I know. I'm pretty sure one of those people in California is one of the Amazon execs. I'm almost positive.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say
No.
maybe it is.
Hey, that'd be great.
That would
Take
be
our
great.
advice, but pay me also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't send us a cease and desist.
Nope. Well, cool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
what else you got?
This has got to be one of the quickest ones we've done.
I know it was quick, which is funny because my notes are really long.
Your notes are 2 pages.
Yeah. Like, but we did kind of blow through that. I guess again though, like,
You know what we don't have?
what's that?
Is we don't have a starter. We don't have.
We don't have a funny little starter, do we?
No.
We've got no good quip.
Yeah. We got nothing.
Nah.
This episode is just crap now. Just fucking throw it away.
Nope, it's done. We got to redo it. It's garbage.
Well, we probably will at some point.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna upload to the cloud, and we're gonna have to do this all over.
The cloud version is gonna be shitty. It's gonna be choppy. The audio is gonna be fucking crap.
Oh, dude, I would be so mad because everything sounds really good on this one.
Yeah, I can't.
And it looks good.
I can't hear myself other than.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've got a little bit.
You?
Yeah, I've got me and you in here.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice.
Oh, see, that would irritate. That would distract me. Hearing my voice distracts me because I hate the way I sound on.
It distracted me the first like 2 times that I did it, but now it's pretty normal.
Do you have it connected through the
box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah. So it goes, I have it plugged. I have my headphones plugged into the box, and I can change the volume so I can hear like just you or just me, or like, adjust it that way. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm going to go to bed because I got to work tomorrow.
All right. What time is it there?
It's coming up on 10.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this is gonna have to be kind of normal doing these, at night, which is fine.
Yep. Like, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because by like 7, the sun goes down. Yeah. And it's easier to get a better thing.
And maybe
if you send me that banner, then I could put it on this side, and then it would be dark enough that.
We've got a map coming, so I don't know where you can put that though.
Oh, I got Windows.
Yeah.
Windows and Windows.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is like maybe we can start doing them on like Fridays or Saturday nights, and then we can just fucking go until we don't go anymore.
Let's do them Fridays.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so next time we're going to be talking. Well, our next podcast after this one will be a redo of dwarves.
I'm so excited to do a redo.
So we'll have a character profile on dwarves yet again.
So fucking excited.
And then we'll pick up on the history the week or the time after that.
We should just record them back to back.
We definitely could. That way
if we're doing it on a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, just fucking roll it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do that then. We'll have fun.
All right,
man. Well, that was everything, guys. This was fun. We'll see you.
Bye.
Hey, Swolhirrim. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. We got plenty of stuff on there for fitness and Tolkien lovers alike. It is the Swolhirrim on all of those platforms. And remember to leave us a rating and a review anywhere you get your podcasts. Aure in Tulava.